All right, we have the power of two. So throughout the show, we're going to answer people's questions.
Yes.
Likely you have questions as well, so we'll show you how to send those in. But okay, so number one, the question was, will there be power outages for a long time? I'll let you take this first.
I think really this is what we've been preparing people for, is the potential of power outages. Can we say specifically how long it's actually going to be? Of course not, but because ice is the #1 concern in the forecast and it's so prolonged that we could accumulate that ice, and with it being so thick, I mean, ice is going to bring down trees, power lines, and like we always mention, it doesn't take that much. So I think in this scenario, are we going to be without it for a long time? I don't think we can specifically say for sure, but I think it's really just planning and preparing for that, because an ice storm like this is a direct correlation and result to those power lines and trees going down, and just a lot of people being without power.
And luckily at this point we can tell that, hey, it's mainly going to be sleet that happens through the overnight, so we can say that you are likely still with power when you wake up on Sunday morning. There might be a few isolated cases, but then once you get this area of pink, that's going to be the freezing rain. At that point, it is actually very heavy, Majestic. So I think it's going to be quickly sticking to a lot of those trees, bringing down tree limbs, and then that's really going to bring down the weight of some of those power lines as well. So yeah, like you said, the 2002 event, power was out 1 to 2 weeks in some areas. So I think that you're talking about hours to days if we get up to that ½ inch of ice.
And I think something with freezing rain too is that people look outside their window, they're like, well, it's done and over with, it's just rain coming down now. And that's the deceiving part. This is not just normal rain, this is freezing rain. I mean, our air temperature is surely cold enough. The ground temperature though is also really cold. So all that rain, quote unquote rain, that's going to be coming down, it just instantly freezes on everything. So anything that you have outside is going to get frozen over with it. And it doesn't take a lot. That's the thing.
And even if you get like a little technical rain that's not freezing rain, well, guess what? It's immediately going to be freezing after that. So then you have those icicles that are just going to weigh things down even more. So yeah, starting in the morning, the afternoon, it's going to pick up. And I think really hours to days, I think the maximum would be over a week in the extreme circumstances. All right, the next question was, do you believe we could get thunder during this ice storm? We'll say it together. 1, 2, 3.
No.
All right, so plain and simple is you need some sort of instability, and it's usually when you have a warmer surface and a colder temperature aloft, you get that instability. And first off, it's called thunder snow. We don't even have the snow.
Exactly. Not a lot of it, that's for sure.
So at this point, we're not going to really have the right setup. That's where it's going to be more of this type of setup, that it's actually colder at the surface and warmer above. So that is a big no. All right, Jessica.
Thunder snow is cool though.
Oh, I've actually never heard it.
Okay, I have.
You have?
When I was in Arkansas, and it was more of a warm air mass, cold air mass coming together, and then boom.
Yeah, I only have seen Jim Cantori get very excited about it. All right.
Okay, next question. Is there still a chance that the cold air pushes down south and turns everything to snow?
That's going to be another no. Actually, I'll bring up this other graphic. It's not about the cold air. We have the cold air. It's the problem is it's so shallow. So that's why we still have a ribbon of the warmer air above us. And that's why this is more of a sleet event. So I think we could see snow. We were mentioning that that's the big change, Majestic, is that at least
we
snow
like that.
levels. Yeah, so here, this is the best part of the forecast. Ooh, it's snowing.
Yay.
Maybe I can get a quick little snowball off my car, and then, oh, here comes the sleet.
Yeah. And it seems like most of the snow, again, north of Charlotte. I think in Charlotte, could we get some snow? Sure, maybe a little bit. Enough to, get you excited. But most of that north of us.
Yeah,
not looking great.
I think the problem is, too, Majestic, is that we actually have this area that looks like really heavy snow. I think a lot of sleet's mixing with that as well. So if you live north of I-40, you have a better chance for a long-lasting snow. But that's one thing. At least this weather system is throwing you a little bit of a snow event briefly. But that's why I was telling people yesterday, maybe you could see snow, but it's more of a sleet and then followed by freezing rain event, as you mentioned.
And I think it's interesting, too, since being here or in the South in general, usually we're missing something, whether it's a cold air, whether it's some moisture. And this time, it's really like we have both. We have a lot of that cold Arctic air blasting down throughout the South, and plenty of moisture, too, coming in from the South. So
and
there we go.
Well, Megan did a great job yesterday where we were talking about the brine versus the ice.
Yeah.
So the next and last question we have is, you asked, when is the best time to apply salts or ice melts? So obviously salt, as we learned from Megan, is after the event. So I think, Majestic, and this is, I think, kind of like up to you. You can maybe wait until the precipitation just stops, but I think that more so maybe Monday morning, would you say, or would you do it as soon as it stops?
I think as soon as it stops
As
for
soon
me
as it stops,
personally.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think I would do. But I don't think there's any specific, like,
Nope.
this is going to be the best time to do it.
Yeah, because it looks like I think the last precipitation ends early evening on Sunday. So
Yeah.
if you see for sure, you can check on our wonderful WCNC app, by the way, if the radar is all clear. And we're also going to give you the all clear as well. We're going to be live streaming on WCNC Plus. So yeah, no, I'm going to have to double that up. I think that if we can get out there, get the salt, have it work overnight. If not, as soon as you wake up in the morning, get it active. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be traveling on Monday anyway.
No, hopefully not. So if people, accumulate 1 to 3 inches of sleet, I think that they should get out and try to remove that as soon as you can, because all of it's just going to be frozen over. It's better to just at least have a little bit of ice compared to the 2 or 3 inches of sleet and then the freezing rain on top of it.
Yeah, and I say this usually during these events. Now, it might get frozen to the ground in this case, but if you can put a tarp over your car, sometimes you can put it on your stairway and stuff like that, you can be able to lift that up much easier than actually trying to chisel it.
That's a good idea. You got an extra tarp?
No, and we tried to get one yesterday and they are sold out.
Not surprisingly.
Hopefully you have one in general. Again, Majestic and I are going to be answering your questions all through WCNC Plus. Do we have that number? I don't have it memorized by any chance, what people can message in. Well, anyways,
we'll get it to you.
Why don't you message either Majestic or I on our Facebook page, and we'll get to as many as we can throughout the show.